the gas, follow the gas bottle. Always sensible, right? So I'm in District 11 now, guys, and you can see things are decidedly more hectic. I always find as you leave the more central districts, the driving and the noise gets worse and worse. I don't know why that is. So I hardly ever venture into D11, one more, but today I need to find a very specific electronics store. So I'm having a look to see where it is. Hopefully I can find it. In Vietnam, sometimes the addresses are quite confusing. You have these hems or alleys where everything is kind of tucked down a street and then another street and another street. And the address will be something like 122/B/101/A. So it's kind of difficult to find places sometimes. Google Maps is good, it's much better than it used to be, it's reasonably accurate, but sometimes you've got to take an adventure down an alley. Hello? Oh dear. His poor mum. So I picked up my wire and my DC jack. Cost me $1. I don't know how long that's going to last with 3 amps and 36 volts, but it's the best I can find here. The guy wasn't too friendly at the store, so I didn't get my camera out. He may have thrown it across the street. It's the first place they didn't offer to fit it for me. Normally in Vietnam they're very generous. They like to, when you buy something, they'll fit it for you for no extra charge. But he didn't oblige. Never mind. I've got a soldering iron, so no worries. So I can build electric bikes. I haven't built a battery yet, and that's the one thing I need to look into. I got a little bit of a phobia of electricity, especially high amp and high voltage, and I prefer to give any battery work to somebody else who may have better knowledge and they can do it for me. But everything else, like fitting wiring on the bike and everything, motor work, I can do all that. Unfortunately, the batteries are the most expensive part of the e-bike. So 36 volt, 48 volt battery, a good one, $300-400 US, and they're quite, they're quite delicate. They can fail if one cell inside the battery fails. So for example, inside my pack I've got 10 18650 batteries, and obviously wired together gives you 36 volts, but if one of those batteries fails, and it's a nightmare because you've got to strip down the battery pack, test it all, and then you need actually one of those, spot welder. That's so funny, you drove past when I was talking about that, but you need to spot weld the batteries together, and it's quite a delicate job, which I can't do because I don't have a spot welder. I don't really want to do battery work. I'd rather pay a professional to do it. But yeah, you can get cheaper batteries here, around $200 or less, but they're probably not going to last you more than a year or so. But maybe that's okay. Maybe you just get another one after a year. What I find with the Chinese batteries is, I mean, it all comes from China, right? But the lower quality ones, they don't have fuses, they don't have on-off switches, and a little bit more dangerous. So it's quite funny though, the word for electric in Vietnamese is dien, but the word for crazy is also Dien. It's just the tone is very slightly different. So when I'm looking for an electric or electronic store, I say Go Hang Dien, which is electric shop, but with a slight mispronunciation, it means crazy shop. So I just said to the guy, Go Hang Dien, and he kind of looked at me strange, maybe a little bit offended. And then I showed him the wire, and he understood. But that's just the difficulty with Vietnamese. It's like obviously it's a tonal language, and you get that tone a little bit wrong, and it means something totally different. And it's like the word for chicken. Word for chicken, ga. The word for station, ga. There's a very slight difference in the tone. So you can get in a taxi and say like, I'm on the ga. I want to go to the station. But the driver may interpret that as I want to go to the chicken. And even though you're in a taxi with bags, they still like don't understand, because if you get the tone wrong, it just totally throws them off. It's very funny, but also quite frustrating. Anyhow, c'est la vie. This is a super busy road, Ba Thang Hai. Kind of cuts through the back end of the city. I'm glad I'm not on a regular bicycle, because it's not so nice to be pedaling hard when it's busy and polluted like this. Maybe that's a Go Hang Dien. No, medical. And people will squeeze past you, literally. They give you millimeters, so I'm going to go on the pavement like these guys. Follow the gas bottle. Always sensible, right? But the impatience is legendary. Even if the light's 5 seconds, people will still jump up on the pavement just to get ahead. You see these guys? Just like I'm doing. The hypocrites. Yeah, this road is always busy, so as a cyclist, I'm going to use my right to go on the pavement. Although, follow this guy. The problem is when everyone piles onto the pavement like they do, it bottlenecks at the front end, so they all jump back in at the front of the lights like you can see they're doing here, and it just causes the big delay you can see. So unfortunately, the kind of attitude is for the individual, which is unusual, because this part of the world based on collectivism, right? Anyway, I've seen a Go Hang Dien, an electric shop. I'm going to have a look inside. Got some wire. Hello, Quan. So we got wire. I need some connectors. I found the Maplin of Vietnam. 22. So I got some wire. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. He didn't have crimp butt connector. Although how would you say crimp butt connector in Vietnamese? I have no idea. But he had a good idea of what I was after, but real strange, didn't have it. Yeah, dig that chaos. Woo! I think I'm the only person on a bike today. I'm the only person crazy enough to ride a bicycle. So in Vietnam, you don't have like the Walmarts or the Maplins or the Ikeas. You don't have the everything under one roof kind of store. So you've got to go around and search the little mom and pop type places. I mean, I'm sure that's coming, but I heard Amazon was coming here, or trying to come here. They have Lazada here and Shopee, which is kind of the equivalent of Amazon, but slightly more chaotic. Try getting a refund on Shopee, good luck with that. Another cyclist. Hello, how are you? I don't see many people riding bikes today. Not many. Only me and you. Too hot and too busy. Right, let's go. It's days like these I'm glad I got a car horn. Or overvolted motorbike horn, actually. So probably up to about 30 kilometers today and still got 2 bars left. That's not too bad, although it's not as good as it used to be. The issue is I'm over 90 kilos. The bike's at least 25. There's quite a lot of weight to propel along. But it does a good job, I feel. So this is Pham Ngu Lao, the street adjacent to Boi Vien, District 1, the central tourist area. And as you can see, it's still pretty quiet, right? Not many, you can see a couple of tourists, but this street would be packed normally on a Saturday with tourists. It's not so many still. Mind you, they're probably all still hungover from last night. Probably still in bed. Heading through District 1 rather, Thang, and then over the bridge now back into District 2. It's one of the few places where you've got like a nice sidewalk, a nice path. But the problem is if I go on there on my bicycle, I will get screamed at by their security. They really hate it when you ride a bicycle on the pavement. But it seems to be okay for people to ride motorbikes and put their motorbikes there, but no bicycles allowed. Very strange. Anyhow, I'm not going to overthink it. So guys, if anybody knows the proper Vietnamese words for crimp connector, it's a little piece of insulated metal to join 2 wires together. You put the wire in one end and the other and you push it down in the middle, it crimps. Please let me know, because it's the one thing, surprisingly, I'm struggling to find here. I need a few of them. Oh.